Swadika, I'm Crew Wolf, and I'm going to show you how I wrap my hands. First, I have to prepare the hand wraps to wrap my hands, and the way I do this is by rolling them up. To do that, I'm going to take the Velcro, and I'm just going to press the Velcro down against the wrap. I'm going to put two fingers together, and I'm going to put the end of that wrap on those two fingers, and I'm going to roll that wrap up around those two fingers. I want to make sure that I keep the wrap nice and flat as I go around. I don't want it to be bunched up, creased up, turned around or anything like that. I want it to be nice and flat. I also want to make sure that when I do this, my wraps are dry. I do not want them to be wet. So if I just use them and they're still wet, I'm going to hang them up first, let them dry out, and once they're dry, I'm going to roll them up, throw them in my bag or wherever I need, so that way when it comes time to wrap my hands, I just take them out and I'm ready to go. But once we have this rolled up all the way, it should be nice and flat, and the thumb loop should be on the end. Not the Velcro, but the thumb loop should be sticking out here. Now here's what we're going to do. A lot of these will say this side up or this side down on them. This one does not. It's blank. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting the loop over my thumb, and I want to go over the top of my wrist, and I'm going to go around just one time. You can go around 1, 2, or 3 times depending on the size of your hand and the length of your wrap. Now from here I'm going to start at one side of an X going up to my hand. Then I'm going to go around my knuckles 1, 2, or 3 times. I'm going to do it once. And then I'm going to finish that X right there down to my wrist. Now from here I'm going to go around my thumb and around my wrist. I could do that 1, 2, or 3 times. I'm just going to do it once. Now from here I'm going to go between my fingers. Now here's the funky part. I'm going to go to my pinky. Now here's what I'm going to do from here. I'm going to come around to my index finger side, right? Index finger side, and I'm going to go around my wrist. Now I'm going to go to the middle finger. I'm going to go again to that index finger side, and I'm going to come down to my wrist and around again. Now on this last one, when I go through my first finger, I'm going to go the opposite way to my pinky now, all right? So I'm going to my pinky, and I'm coming down. Now from here I loop around my wrist, and I'm going to go around my thumb, trying to keep it nice and flat completely, and now around my wrist. Whatever's left, I'm going to finish up on my wrist, trying to keep as much of it on the actual joint as possible and not wrapping it all the way up my forearm up here. I don't need it up here. I need it here on my wrist joint. On the bottom here, I'm just going to open up my palm to make it comfortable, and I'm going to push in this little area right here so I have a nice little handle, and there you have it. It's a wrap. Swadika, I'm Crew Wolf. This is Fire. He's going to show you how he wraps his hand. It's very different than the way I wrap my hand. You can choose which one you like. It's up to you. He's very knuckle intensive, puts a lot of padding on his knuckles, whereas my wrap protects your wrist a little bit more. So it depends on what you're comfortable with. If you have wrist problems, you might like my wrap a little more because it stabilizes your wrist a little bit better. But if you've got some knuckle problems, you'll probably like Fire's wrap a little bit better because he puts a lot more padding on his knuckles to protect it. So without further ado, I'll let you explain how you wrap up, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's what I throw. So we're going to work on the Thai wrap, or the Thai way to wrap your hands. So first of all, you're going to just unroll your wrap, and you're going to go to the very end, right, with the little ring for the thumb is. You're not going to use it. What you're going to do is put that on your fingers just like that and make a padding. I usually go 4 to 5 times, create a really good padding on it. I'm going to go 5 this time because that's how I got used to. Once you got that, you're going to take it out, and you're going to use your thumb to clip it and keep it in place as you go once over it. So the pattern is right there. What you're going to do now is just going to box it in nice and tight, and you're going to wrap it one more time. You can go once or twice, up to you, whatever's more comfortable. From here, you're going to go on an X towards your wrist, and you're going to go once over your wrist. From here, you're going to come over your pinky, or in the middle, the pinky and the ring finger, and you're going to go over the wrist again. You're going to pretty much repeat that, going all over your fingers and the knuckles. Now I'm going over the ring finger and the middle finger, and going over my wrist again. And then finally, I'm going to go over my index and the middle finger, just like that, and go over my wrist again. From here, I can just go over my wrist depending on how much wrap I have left, or I can go right from there in your thumb and go over my hands once or twice. I don't really wrap my thumbs. I don't find it necessary, but you know, if you feel that it hurts when you punch, go ahead and do it. You can go once from here. Once you bring it back here, just go over it once and just pull the rest of the wrist. Just like that. So there you have it. That's the Thai wrap. A lot of padding on the knuckles.
Thank you very much, sir.